Hey guys, today we're going to look at some governors of the various states, both past and present. How many of them might be male to female, transsexuals? Yeah, this one here, interesting. Governor of Arizona. Now, you could think, well, maybe it spent too much time out in the sun, became kind of a prune-faced old woman, but I believe this is a man. Good disguise there, doing the prune-faced old woman disguise. That's another disguise they like to do. Look at that there. It's got the Joker mask. Another one from Arizona. Again, you know, it makes you wonder, is it one of these old women or is it actually a man in disguise? You can see it doing the old grin there, right? The big forced smile. And here's a famous one, Janet Napolitano. Napoleon, whatever. Yeah. And by the way, a lot of these, you know, they're governors, they're senators, they're in the House, they're all over the place, they're in the federal government. So a lot of these people just stick around forever, their entire lives, they're in the government somehow. And I believe this is another man. He's got those brow ridges. So look for the skull. Mainly, we got skull shots going on. They have so many clothes, they just put padding in the hips and stuff, you know. This one, the deep eye sockets and the brow ridge and stuff, it's kind of got that meatloaf look going on, you know, sporting the short hair. So, you know, they always come off as Butch Dyke types and all this kind of things. Very butch looking politicians, but I think these are all men, actually. Jan Brewer. Now, I've heard this name. I'm not sure why. This one may have had other posts in the government. Again, look at those deep set eyes, man. Huge brow ridge. That's not an old woman. That's an old man. I think this is another one, right? Just look at the way they look. Look at this. They're like characters out of a some Monty Python movie or something, you know, like Benny Hill. I mean, oh, very wide-bodied one there, huh? I mean, that's a wide-bodied person. Very broad shoulders, 3 head widths easily. Yeah, look at that, man. Ah, is that a man or a woman? To me, that looks more like a tranny, you know, a man, a trans. Oh, the world has been transformed. We as people have not been yet. Now, who's this? Look at this, man. It's a tranny. Look at that big mouth, right? I mean, just use your instincts, right? A man in makeup, right? Not a whole lot of surgery going on at this one. Just kind of the hairstyle and the clothes and lipstick, right? That's a dude for sure. You know, some of these are really easy to spot, actually. All right, today I thought we'd look at some FTMs. We'll start by looking at some openly transgendered female to males, just to get a sense of what they look like, and then we'll look at some celebrity examples who may be FTMs themselves, all right?
My name's Logan Beck Ireland. I'm 27 years old, and I'm a senior airman in the United States Air Force, currently stationed in Kandahar, Afghanistan. My commander was a little surprised when I told her. I mean, she didn't really seem too fazed by it. I told her that I was transgender, that I was assigned female at birth. There's not a lot of people that know that I'm transgender. It's very much on a need-to-know basis. Currently in Afghanistan, there's only a handful, and those people are of higher rank than, of course, the people that I came here with from my home station.
How often do you give yourself a shot?
So it's every Friday. When the other guys ask me what being transgender means, I basically say that it's just being assigned female at birth. Your mind does not come in alignment with your body. After doing it every week for over 3 years, you just kind of get used to it. And that's it. I can be my authentic self. I'm just another guy. Whereas back home, I'm still seen as female, and I go by female regs and standards. Here in Afghanistan, a war zone, it's like a vacation to me because I can be myself in such an austere environment. There are a lot of transgender troops. There's over 15,000 of us, but I know a lot personally. They're getting discharged left and right, and these are good people for the military.
I'm sure that they know about Logan being transgender, but I'm pretty sure, and I'm almost 100% sure that they don't know that I'm transgender.
Now, is that a man or a woman? All right, give you a couple seconds to think about it. The truth is, this is a female to male transgendered wrestler. Texas transgender wrestler wins girl state title. And this person was apparently born a girl. From 3 years old, she has considered herself a boy. Now, more than a year after starting testosterone treatment that is transforming his physical appearance and increasing muscle mass to that of or near a boy of similar age. Now let's look at some more here. Okay, 10 handsome men who were born female. Buck Angel, he's a famous one. She, adult filmmaker and transsexual, Buck Angel is now an icon in the LGBT community. He lived for years as a female professional model. Transsexual Performer of the Year. Well, that's something to aspire to. All right. I mean, look at these dragons. You know, it's got these demonic tattoos. The phoenix, dragons, serpents. Arms are short. That's all we got, really. And there's some kind of strange things going on with the breasts, apparently. But okay, here's another one. That one looks pretty, you know, that looks like a lot of actors, doesn't it? This guy here, Yvonne, this girl, sorry. You know, totally male haircut, facial hair. Now this nipple here, the male nipple does seem a bit funny there. Seems a bit out of place. But look at that muscle mass. I mean, testosterone will do that, man. You know, again, look at it's achieved male hips, basically. Those are not wide female-looking hips, but this person was born female. This is a female to male. Transsexual, very masculine-looking face. Square jaw, even, to a certain extent. It does have that female, you know, almost vertical forehead, and then it starts to slope back on top. And we only notice that because this person's bald. Muscles, you know, they develop the shoulder muscles a lot to get that wide shoulder look. And it is bending in a very strange way. The breasts look very strange. You can tell right there. Usually it's not going to be that obvious on a celebrity. And look at this one. You know, you do get a kind of a sense that there's a bit of a feminine vibe. But that's about it. No proof, you know. How could you prove it? You know, that's why I struggle to make videos on female to male. Because it's like, well, how could you look at this person here and convince others that it's a woman? But again, you know, this looks like a lot of musicians, actually. This person's. See a lot of these kind of looking faces in alternative rock met. This is the one that got pregnant somehow. So the nipples look a bit funny. Lots of muscles. And it looks like a lot of actors. Remember, a lot of actors have this kind of feminine vibe, don't they? And then again, you see the short upper arm. Here's one that was on the cover of Men's Health. See, we already know they're FTMs, right? So it's a little bit more obvious than if we didn't know. Maybe if you just looked at the face, you might be fooled, right? But see, and these people leave evidence, right? You can see the female hips ending up above the navel, the curve coming in there in the middle of the torso. See the scars and the nipples and all that, right? The nipples are not the right size. But here, look at that. Look at the, it almost looks like it has a male Adonis belt area. In this photo, the hips look fairly normal. See, again, you can see the female hips in this photo, straight on shot. It's kind of got that Ryan Gosling shape to it, right? Which is why you want to put the hand in the pockets if you're an FTM as much as possible. They do try to fake the Adonis belt, though, right? And they're getting pretty good at that. And then what they do is they try to pretend like that oblique thing, the love handle area, they try to make that look like it's some muscle that they've been working out hard at the gym. So it'll flare out like that, but really what it is they're covering up the female hips ending high above the navel. And most of these guys, they always wear their pants down way too low, right? If you're a man, you can just look at that. You're not wearing your pants way down there like these guys are, right? and it makes their torso look longer. So you notice that all the time their pants are too low.
In the sky that alarmed me significantly, that sent me on a little rabbi trail, okay? And this rabbi trail took me to a place that I really didn't want to go. So I'm going to give you a close-up of this picture here. This is the moon and the star, as you can see here, okay, that I'm talking about, that shows up again on Ishtar's chariot. But what I want to focus on is this. There's a close-up, ladies and gentlemen, and what does that look like? The Statue of Liberty. So I'm going to take a little bit of a rabbit trail for a second and get uncomfortable. And we're going to find out who Lady Liberty really is. So we're going to go back to the French sculptor Frederic Augustus Bartholdi. In 1834 to 1904, went to Egypt in 1868 for inspiration. The construction of the Statue of Liberty began in 1878. So let me talk about this for just a second. How many of you were told in school that the French donated the Statue of Liberty to the United States of America? Okay. How many know that is absolutely not the truth whatsoever? Okay? Whatever they tell you, just forget about it, right? It just totally backs what you were thinking in high school, which is, why am I here anyway, right? You find out years later, you were right. But what I want to talk about here is this. The Statue of Liberty, when Bartholdi was pitching this, he was a sculptor, okay? And as a sculptor, he was trying to build something great that had never been done before. And so he went to Egypt to be inspired because he knew that in Egypt, everything was huge, okay? Everything was big, from the pyramids to all the different statues. Everything was super life-size, and he wanted to get that inspiration. Keep that in mind. Then what he did was he went around the world pitching the Statue of Liberty. We were not the first place that he went to. He was a salesman and a sculptor at the same time. And what happened is they went to America. America liked the idea and tried to raise funds for the Statue of Liberty, but they couldn't. They were having a very difficult time raising the funds for the Statue of Liberty until one gentleman in a local paper, decided to write a blog, what we would call a blog today, or a newspaper article, basically ripping on the middle class, saying, hey, the rich cannot be the only ones that represent America. We need to give to this cause because we need a representation of freedom. And wouldn't you believe it, lo and behold, they raised the funds and they began the process of bringing the Statue of Liberty over to America and assembling it on American soil. Now, what's fascinating is if you look at the picture that's on your screen right now, I'm sure it's total coincidence, ladies and gentlemen, that the statue on the left not only looks identical to the Statue of Liberty, but has the exact same rays coming off what is arraying her head as the sun rays, representing the 7 continents of the world. It is the sun god that presides over the world. Oh, I'm not done yet. This is Attis. Now, Attis is somebody you need to understand who he is, because Attis was the priest or the main servant of Cybele, or Ishtar, or the wife of Baal, the sun god. And he, in their craziness, let's just leave it that wink wink, of what went happen in those times, is he castrated himself, then would dress up, cross-dress as a woman, and wear this hat. This is a close-up of the castrated Attis on the left and Lady Liberty on the right. What I want to suggest to you when I got to this part is I thought to myself, oh my goodness, is Lady Liberty really a lady? Or is it Larry Liberty? I don't know. But I'm going to let you decide as we do a little bit close up here, and you tell me if that looks like a feminine face. Ignore the long hair. Remember, the priests of Ishtar wore long hair, they castrated themselves, wore robes like women, and wore these headdresses. Now, one more better for you. Here is her face before it is assembled, and before you have the ability to look at the hair and be influenced. That's under construction. If I'd known any better, I would think it was Superman. So you can be the judge, ladies and gentlemen, but this little rabbit trail here, I believe, shows us that not only has Attis, or the priest of Ishtar, and sun god worship showing up all over Egypt, all over Rome, all over Greece, and everywhere else in the Eastern Mediterranean, but is on our soils and has infiltrated America today and has literally become the epitome and the torch of freedom. It's bondage.
Wendy Williams, the talk show host, fainted on live TV during her Halloween episode yesterday. Forced the show to go black, and ABC's Ariel Reschiff is here with the latest on Wendy's condition. Good morning, Ariel. It's a scary situation.
Definitely scary. Good morning to you, Michael. This morning, Wendy Williams is okay and planning to return to her show today, but her audience and the internet totally spooked after she collapsed on set as the cameras were rolling. This morning, Wendy Williams expected back on air after a real-life Halloween scare, fainting during her live talk show Tuesday morning. Williams, dressed as Lady Liberty, seemed fine until almost the end of her show, when she suddenly starts to slow down.
Let's get started. Our first caress.
Slurring her words while introducing a costume contest. Stage managers rushing to her aid, the show quickly cutting to black. 6 minutes later, an alert Williams, still in costume, was back on camera.
That was not a stunt. I'm overheated in my costume and I did pass out. But you know what? I'm a champ and I'm back.